Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new modeling video in Maya 2018 to be exact. Well, today we're going to be doing a wood burning stove, something to dress up a scene, like for example a saloon scene or whatnot, right? And if you're a patron to my channel, you will find the file that we're using today on the shared drive. Okay, let's jump in. Here we go. Okay guys, well, time for some modeling in Maya. We're in Maya 2018 and we're going to be creating a wood burning stove. Now this can be placed in all sorts of settings, maybe a Wild West saloon, maybe an old cabin in the mountains, anything you like. I'm not going to use a reference image here because this is basically going to be freeform. If you want to do that, you can obviously just Google for a wood burning stove. All right, well, let's get started. I'm going to start with the front of the stove, and for that I'm going to take a polygon plane, and I'm going to hit R to scale that out. And I want a little bit more control over the edges here, so what I'm going to do is hit Control A, open up the attribute editor, and we're going to go in here and we're going to set this to 1 by 1. Okay, and then we're going to go back in, and I'm going to go into Insert Edge Loop, option box. Let's set this to, I'm going to set it to manual and 1. Now that might sound odd, but when you do that, it will set edges exactly in the middle. Okay, so I'll have one in the middle here, I'll have one there, I'll have one there, one here, one there, and one there. Just because I get more flexibility when I add them. Okay, now I'm going to hit Q on my keyboard. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to take these guys right here, the ones I just added, and select all of those like so, and then I'm going to go to Edit Mesh and Bevel, and then I'm going to play with that fraction a little bit. So let's bring that down to, let's do 0.1. Let's see, 0.1 is about right, I would say. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and now we can tweak this a little bit if we like. Basically, there's going to be a little window behind this here. So we can go in and right click, go to vertex, and basically play with the position. So we'll take these like so, hit R to push them out like this. These seem to be okay, so I'm going to leave everything else alone. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go in here and let's take these faces. Actually, let's shape this a little bit more. We're going to go into vertex, we're going to take these, and I'm going to hit W, and I'm going to raise this up a little bit, like so. And I want to smooth this out later on, I think, but we'll see. What I'll do is I'll go back to Insert Edge Loop, which is still set to 1, I think. Yeah, 1 there and 1 there. Q on my keyboard. We're going to double click on both of these guys, go to Edit Mesh and Bevel again, go to 0.1 again. There you go. And then we're going to right click and go to vertex, drag, select this and this. So we can now hit W, and it'll become a little bit more of an arch, like so, right? All right, then we're going to go in here and we're going to take these faces like this, and then we'll take this, we'll take this, we'll take the bottom here, and we'll take this as well, and this, and this, and this. All right, that seems to be okay. I think it is. So we're going to Control E to extrude, and let's increase that thickness a bit. I think the 0.2 is fine. All right, cool. So we're going to accept that, and what we're going to do here is we're going to go in, and I think I'm going to raise these up a little bit. So I'm going to go to vertex, take all of that, hit W to move that up to maybe about here. It looks a little bit better. And you can decide to arch the middle section up if you like. So take these and kind of follow that arch like so. I'm not going to do that. I think it looks better straight, right? So now that we have that, that looks all right. What you can do if you like is to arch the front plate a little bit. So let's do that. So we're going to take this, we're going to go to the form, we're going to go to non-linear, yep, and bend. And let's see, our bend deformer is right here. We're going to hit E to rotate it, hold down J to snap it down. Let's go in here and see if it's facing correctly, and it is. And I want something like this, but not that extreme, of course. So just a little. Now the best way to see that is looking at this angle. That looks okay. Good, good. So we're going to go with that. Yep. And I'm going to accept that. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to take this guy, edit, delete by type and history to get rid of that control. And we'll hit E to rotate and hold down J to set it upright. Okay. Now let's see what's next. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Insert Edge Loop again. Let's go in here. And let's see, we'll do one there. And we'll go to the bottom and we'll do one there and one there. Okay. Q on our keyboard. We're going to right click to the face. We're going to drag select all of those front faces here. So these. All right. Control E to extrude. W to pull out. Just a little. And then we're going to go in here and just select the bottom row. All right. And hit Control E again and W again to pull out, and pull that out just a little. Okay. And then for the top, depending on what you want to do there, we are going to hit Control E, W to move forward just a little bit. And let's do a preview smooth here. Let's hit 3, which will give us something like this, which is starting to get there. We do need to reinforce some edges here so it will stay in shape, or maybe even leave it like this, but I think we're going to smooth it. But for now, we're going to leave it like this because we need to do the rest of the furnace, right? Let me just think about this for a sec. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to smooth it. So I'm going to go to Insert Edge Loop. I'm going to open that up, but I'm going to go to Manual now. Let's go in here, and I'm going to jump in, and I'm going to put one close to the edge right there. Put one close to the edge right there. One down here. One down here, and one down here. And then if you want to hold the shape here, you can put one in here. And this doesn't have to be a very low poly piece, so I can get away with this. If it has to be a low poly piece, of course, you need to be careful. Okay, so we'll do that, and then one at the top. And then I think we have to go in here and do one there and there. Okay. Q on the keyboard, let's do 3 to preview smooth, which will give us something like this. Shape-wise, looks a lot better. If you want to have squares in the middle and not those circles, what you'll need to do is add some more edge loops. I think I'm going to do that. So we'll put one in here, and of course we'll need to repeat that process. I'll try to do it fairly quickly. That should help somewhat, not completely, but somewhat. Let's see, a little bit. Okay, we'll leave it at this. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. All right, so we have this. And let's go into mesh and smooth and actually smooth it. Okay, now this is division level 1. Let's set that to 2, which is, yeah, it's okay. So we'll do that. All right, so we're going to go with the side panel. Now, side panel shouldn't be that hard. What we'll do there is we'll take another plane. Where'd he go? Right here. And we'll hit R to scale that up. We'll open up the attribute editor. Let's go in here and set that to 1 by 1. And then we'll hit E to rotate it, hold on J, flip it around like so. W to move it. E to rotate, hold on J again, snap it like this. 90 degrees, come on, 90 degrees. We're going to W, we're going to push this in here. And of course we want the correct height and width and whatnot, okay? So let's see if we've got a good angle to do that, and we have. We're going to hit 4. We're going to right click and go to vertex, drag select these, and bring that up to the top, drag select these, push that down like so. Then we're going to take this and we're going to bring that in, and that we need to get correct. So we're going to get in here, we're going to move this like so. And let's bring that in. And we just want that to touch on the inside, so bring it in a bit more. Let's see, looks like we need to be very precise here, so that looks right. Okay, now we don't want to go crazy on the decoration here, but we can do something. So let's just go in here, we'll go to face, Control E to extrude, we'll tweak the offset. Let's go to, let's do this. And what we can actually do, because we have that edge on top there, is kind of mimic that. You can see that's about the same height, which is kind of cool. So we're going to hit G to repeat, we're going to hit W to push in. Let's push it out instead, otherwise we're going to get things all black and weird and whatnot. I think this is good. And yeah, you can go in and do it again if you like. Control E to extrude, let's tweak the offset again, and then hit G to repeat and W to push in. Just so it's not completely plain, right? Okay, so we got this guy, we're going to hit Control D to duplicate, W to move over, E to rotate, hold down J, flip it around until we're at 90 degrees, and we are. And then we're going to bring it back in here, hit W, move it over here, F to frame, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but we have some very heavy vehicles passing by outside. Sorry about that. Alright, that looks about right. Now we need a plate for the top and for the bottom, which is kind of neat. The back is going to be hugging a wall, so there's no need for that. But we are going to make one for the top, for the bottom, of course. The bottom one is fairly straightforward. The one on the top, though, needs to have a hole in it for the pipe, right? So we're going to go with the bottom first. I'm just going to take a cube. We're going to hit R to scale that out. Look at it from the top. Hit 4. Let's bring that in. Let's hit W. I'm going to right click and go to vertex, drag click these guys, and I'm going to align it with these corners right here, and then drag that in so it's sticking out just a little, and do the same here. That looks about right. And if we want to be exact about it, we can just hold this and we'll just snap it to the grid line here like so, and then you know that your symmetry is okay. And we need to mimic this arch in the front there. Okay, so we're going to go to Insert Edge Loop, option box, and I'll set it to 1 again because that will give me a lot of control. So I can do 1 in the middle, I'll do 1 left and 1 right, and then I'll do 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. That should be fine. Hit Q on my keyboard. I'm going to right click, go to vertex, drag select these guys. Hit W. Now I want this to protrude a little bit, so I'm going to kind of follow the line of that arch, right? Skip 1. Do the same here. Skip that. Same here. And then the last one, like so. Let's see what we got. Of course, the thing is way too thick, so we're going to hit R to push it in. Let's hit W to push it down. F to frame it. Alright, now that looks pretty good. We can actually pull it out a little bit more if we like. We'll have to extend it in the back, so let's do that. We're going to right click on the vertex. So that looks fine, and then what we can do here, if we like, is go in and go to face. And we're going to Control E to extrude, W to push down, like so. Maybe equal height. And then take this, Control E and pull that out a little bit. So you got kind of like a little step here, right? Now if we smooth this, we'll need to add edge loops, pretty sure. Yeah, there you go. So let's do that. We're going to go in here, we're going to go to insert edge loop, and now we're going to set it to manual and set it to 1. So we can kind of hold that shape a bit better, right? So let's put one in here, we'll put one in here. And I know that some people prefer to crease edges and whatnot. I don't have a polycount restriction here, so I'm just going to do it this way. And I kind of like doing it that way. So, and then we'll put one in here. We'll put one in here. And that should fix most of that. Let's go to object mode. Let's hit 3 to preview smooth. Much better. Okay. So we're going to go to mesh and smooth. Actually, let's not do that just yet because I'm going to duplicate this guy. So I'm going to hit 1 to go back. I'm going to hit Control D to duplicate, W to move up, F to frame. And I want to create an opening for my pipe here, right? So let's make sure that's setting okay. Looks like it is. Okay. So we need to have an opening for a pipe, and I'm wondering what the quickest way is, and that's, you know, of course, important. Let's try something here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my insert edge loop option box. Let's go back to multiple and 1, and let's add them here and here. And then we'll go in here and we'll do one here, 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 and here. Then we're going to go in. Now I need some kind of reference to have an understanding of how I need to create that arch, right? So I'm going to take a cylinder and I'll just select it and hit W and move it in here. And that should be about right. Now I can either make a hole, which typically would not be the case. The pipe would be hugging the wall, or almost, something like so, and then there would be a kind of an arch around it. So that's what I want to go for, okay? Or at least close to. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to Q on my keyboard, I'm going to right click on the vertex, and I'm going to drag select these guys, and I'm going to bring it out like so, and then drag select these, and repeat. And repeat again, and then finally the one in the middle, just a tad, and that should give me the opening that I want. Okay, and looks like that looks fine. Alrighty, so now that we have that, of course we need pipes, so we don't necessarily need to use this guy. We can if you want. We're going to start somewhere around here. It's not touching anything, looks like. Just thinking whether I want to bring this in or not. I could if I wanted to, but I'm not. I think it's fine. And I actually have one of these stoves myself, so I have a kind of an idea what it should look like, right? So let's see, we've got this. So we're going to go in here. We're going to right click on our vertex. We're going to drag select these guys like so. We're going to give that some height, depending on how high you want to go. Let's do something like this. And what I want here is for this guy to have a 90-degree curve and then go straight into the wall, right? So we'll create a wall. We'll hit R to scale that up, E to rotate, hold down J, flip it up like this, W to push it back. And let's hit 4 for wireframe mode so we can see what's going on. Let's go in here, and we need to have some legs for our furnace later on, so let's do something like so. And then we need to go in here. Okay, so it will need to move forward at some point, but we'll get there. So we got that. I'm going to hit Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, hold down J, flip it 90 degrees, hit W, move that up like so. And then push it in like this, and maybe up a little like so. Now we need to find a logical 90-degree curve. So I would say that would be probably something like this. Or let's do it this way. Let's see, we'll do this, and then we'll bring that up. That would be, well, we can go with the obvious and do this. Let's see how that works. Okay, so we have that. What I'm going to do is get this in line. Right? We're going to right click at a face, we're going to drag select, and I'm going to shift select. So just have the front selected and delete. Excuse me. Do the same here. Drag select all of that, shift drag select that. So I just have the top and delete. Go in here, select this, shift select that, go to mesh and combine. And then we're going to go in here and we're going to right click at the edge and double click on this guy, shift double click on this guy, and go to edit mesh and bridge, option box, smooth path and curve. Let's do I don't know, 6 subdivisions and bridge. And there's our pipe, right? Now we need some kind of ring, and this should be closer, so let's bring this in a bit. Let's bring it in to about here. That makes more sense. We'll bring this guy in a bit. All right, so we need a ring on the wall here, so for that we'll take this, we'll push that up, E to rotate, hold on J, flip it like so, F to frame it, R to scale it in, like this, and then, oops, not quite at 90 looks like. We'll hit W, we'll bring that to the wall. And we'll push that down. We'll jump in here, after frame. We're going to hold down the V and snap that. R to scale it up a bit. And then W to move it forward like so. Let's see if that ring is big enough for us. I don't think so. So I'm going to make it a lot bigger like this. That looks a lot better. Okay. And then you can go in, and I'll do that. And I think this is still set to manual. You can go in here and add an edge loop and an edge loop. Q on the keyboard, select it, and go to mesh and smooth. Mesh and where do you go? Smooth. There you go. All right. So now we have that. You can decide to add some rings on the pipe if you want. Basically the same thing, albeit a bit smaller. So Control D to duplicate, W to move out, E to rotate, hold on J, flip it 90 degrees. That should be 90. W to move down. We're gonna make sure it's perfectly aligned. Let's snap that, so hold down the V and snap it. Now in this case it needs to be thinner, so we're just gonna scale that in a bit until we get rings like that. And you can have one or more. I'm not going to go crazy. Control D to duplicate. We'll do one up here somewhere, just to give it a little bit more detail. Okay. We're getting pretty close, guys. We need to put some legs under our furnace here, maybe a floor. So we'll hit Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, hold on J, flip it, W to push down, and then pull that out, like that. There we go. And let's see, I want a door handle on this guy, so let's do that first. So what I'll do is I'll actually borrow some parts. Control D, W to pull out. Okay, we're going to scale this way down, of course. Need to rotate, hold on J, like so. W to move down, move in, and move in. And let's see where we're at. Okay, that's going to be around here somewhere. I have to frame that. All right, we're starting to get in the neighborhood of where we want to be. I'm going to scale this down a bit more. W to pull out. Now I want some distance here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to right click and go to edge, double click on this and move that in like so. And then we'll go in here, right click vertex, drag select, bring it in like this. And this is of course a very plain handle, and I don't want it to be that plain. And actually let's make the handle on the door. That would make more sense, like this. What I want to do is go in here. Let's see, insert edge loop, open that up. We'll do one just manually like this, so we'll put that in here, and then we'll go back in and we'll set it to multiple one. So we can go in and put one in here, 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 and here. Now, why, you might ask? Well, because that will allow us to create a nicer looking handle. So I'm going to go to, let's do edges, Q on my keyboard. Let's not do edges, let's do vertices. We'll take these and let's see, we'll hit R. Well, actually, let's not do it that way. Let me think. Let me think. Let's try edges. All right, so I'm going to hit B on my keyboard. Hold down B, left click and drag to the left because the impacted range is way too much. So there it is. Okay, so bring it down. That's about what I want. And I basically just want to shape this handle like this. That's what I want. Okay, so that looks all right, I think. You can add a tiny bit more detail. Hit B on your keyboard, go to face. We're gonna select this guy and shift like this guy, and we'll do the same here. Let's Control E to extrude. 0.1 looks kind of neat. Let's see what happens if we preview smooth it. Looks even better. So let's go in here and go to mesh and smooth and actually smooth it. There you go. So now what we need is legs for this guy. Now that can be a bit tricky. So we're going to take a polygon cube, hit W, push that down, push that out here. There you go. And we're going to align it with where it needs to be. So I'm going to go to the top. And let's start with the easy one. We'll go back in the corner after frame. And once we have one, of course, we can then duplicate it. So no biggie there. Let's have a look here. Let's bring that down. And I don't want it to be too tall. Of course, they need to touch the floor, but we can adjust the height of the floor, so that's not the issue. So now that we have that, we have an idea of position and whatnot. Okay, I'm just going to go in here and take the floor and hit H to hide it so it's not in my way. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go into face and delete this face, and that face, right? And now, and that face. And I'm really just thinking here what the best way is to do this. So let's go back to our insert edge loop again. Let's do one and a multiple, that's fine. So 1, 1, and 1. That will bring us a long way. Q on a keyboard. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go in and right click, go to vertex. And this might be trickier than I think. Let's see, we'll take these and these. What happens if we scale it in like that? That's not too bad. It is actually. It's not very good. I just want this to look a bit better than what it does right now. So it looks like I need to do this manually, and that's fine. I'll do that then. Okay, so I'll take these three, hit W, bring it in like this, and then take these two and bring it in like this, right? So, and then I'll do the same here. I'll take these three, bring it in, and take these two and bring it in. Nothing wrong with that. I want to have a bit more depth to it, so I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go to edge and I'm going to double click and shift double click and shift double click. And I want these to move, but I want them to move in object orientation, not world orientation. And I got a little bit too much going on, looks like here. So let me hit 4 so I can see it better. So I want this, this, and this. And we're going to go to our move tool. Let's open that up. And I want object orientation. So why am I not getting object orientation? It's kind of annoying. All right, I'll just look at it from the top here. That will work quite well. That should be fine. Hit 5 to go back. So we've got something like that, and then what we can do is go in here, we're going to go to face, drag click all of these, Control E to extrude, 0.1, and then take these, Control E to extrude, 0.1, like that, right? Let's do a preview smooth, which will need some edge loops for sure. Just looking to see whether that looks like a leg, and it does, so that's good. So we're going to hit 1 to go back, and I'm going to go into my insert edge loops, open that up, set it to single, and what we're going to do is we're going to add a few. So we're going to put one in here, put one in here. Let's hide this guy. One there. If you want to hold these shapes here, you can put one in here and one in here, and then we'll do one there and one there and one here. Let's do a quick check. There you go, much better. Okay, so I'm going to go to mesh and smooth to actually smooth, hit 1 to get out of preview mode, and now I need to copy these guys. So make sure you go to modify and center pivot, Control D to duplicate, W to move, we're going to E to rotate, we're going to snap it around like so, move it to that corner, after frame that. That looks okay. Now this is of course bent forward, but that's normal. You wouldn't see that curve forward anyway, so that's okay. So I'm going to select these two, we're going to go to mesh and combine, modify center pivot, we're going to Control D to duplicate, move it out, hit E to rotate, flip it around 90 degrees, W to move that in, after frame that, flip it around, make sure we're touching the corner properly, and we are. Let's go to display and show all to get our walls back, and looks like our feet are going through the floor just a little, so what we'll do is we'll bring that down a bit. Come on, not just him, I want them both. 1 and 2, mesh and combine. Let's go in here, W to move it, and I automatically get that song in my head. We like to move it, yep. And I think that's all right. So what I'm going to do is do a quick occlusion pass on this so you can see what it looks like. Okay, well, as always, thank you so much for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye. Well, thanks for watching, and before you go, please hit that MH button to subscribe, okay? See you guys next time. Bye.